Hello everybody and welcome to Genesee Community College, the site of tonight's Batavia Lions Club Pete Arras Memorial Boys Basketball Tournament, the 41st annual edition of this tournament in memory of the late Pete Arras. Features 8 teams, a large school bracket, a small school bracket, and we will see the first round matchup in the large school bracket transpire in just a few moments. The large school bracket will feature Batavia, Attica, Royhart, and defending champion Leroy. Leroy will take on Attica in a rematch of last year's final in just a few minutes. The small school bracket will feature Notre Dame, Oakfield, Alabama, Medina, and Elba, with OA and Notre Dame meeting in last year's title game, and OA entering this year's tournament as the defending champion. A little bit of background on Pete Arras, who this tournament is named in honor of. In 1982, Pete convinced the Batavia Lions to start this tournament, and this is the 38th year of the tournament, and the actually it seems like that is outdated information in the pamphlet here. It's the 41st year of the tournament, and now stronger than ever with 8 teams. Pete helped bring this tournament to what it is today, a naturally gifted athlete that loved all sports. Pete graduated from Batavia High School and SUNY Brockport and was an athlete and educator that was dedicated to the youth of the Batavia and Genesee County community. Pete was truly a role model to the youth of the community and continued to be even after his retirement. He was my principal at Jackson Elementary School way back in the day. A little bit of inside info there, but unfortunately Pete passed away in 2016, but it's only fitting that the rich history of this tournament has continued, and a big thanks to Tony Scalia, now at the head of this tournament, helping guide it through the 8-team format that it's since developed into. But Pete really helped get this tournament going years ago, and like I said, in the 41st year of this tournament, so plenty of pride associated with each title, and Leroy looking to defend its title with a win in the opening round here over last year's runner-up Attica. We'll also see Batavia and Royhart face off at 8 p.m., and then we'll see the small school bracket between the two large school bracket games here at Genesee Community College. So Elba versus Oakfield, Alabama coming up next, then Medina versus Notre Dame, and finally Royhart versus Batavia. But we're ready to kick things off here with Leroy versus Attica. The championship games of each bracket will begin at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday here at GCC. We'll also have those games live for you on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. So Alex Brasky welcoming you in to tonight's broadcast here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network, and we'll pause for a moment for the national anthem. All right, so we're just about underway here at GCC. Let us first tell you about our sponsors for tonight's broadcast, beginning with our scoreboard sponsor, and that is, of course, Casella Waste. Also, we'd like to thank Genesee Community College, Notre Dame High School, TF Browns, RA Heights Company Incorporated, Yasis Trucking and Construction, Excavating and Paving, also Main Street Insurance Agency, and Empire Tractor. So we're underway here at GCC. The ball is up and Attica controls the opening tip. Attica enters the tournament at 3-3, hoping to go above 500 with a win here in the first round, while Leroy enters at 4-3. Leroy coming off of 3 straight wins over Kelmum, Perry, and Albion, while Attica is 1-1 in its last 2, a win over Holly and a loss to Pembroke. So inside, Merritt Holly Jr. gets the finish. And we'll get our clock going here momentarily, but a 2-0 lead for Leroy in the early going on the layup from Holly. So that one out of bounds, 7:08 remaining here in the first. Attica led by head coach Rob Crowley, a veteran head coach here for the Blue Devils. A near 1,000 point scorer during his playing days, and he's since helped lead his former program as now the head coach. And Attica's done quite well during his tenure. Have yet to reach championship glory, but I've had a number of winning seasons, plenty of quality players. It's also produced Attica's new 1,000 point scorer Owen Thompson just a few years ago. 3 ball for Leroy as they increase their lead. Eric loose from the corner. This play comes to a stop here momentarily. Looks like we'll have a reset of either the game clock or the shot clock, but Attica in an early hole is loose with the 3 from the corner. Makes it a 5-0 Leroy lead here in the early going. Once again, we'd like to remind you our scoreboard sponsor, Casella Waste. Right now, there's 6:32, but it looks like we have a change of the game clock here. We're going to work that down to 6:21 as the official sorts things out at the head table. But for Leroy, began the season with a 3-point loss to Livonia, rebounded with a win over Alden, then 2 straight losses to Hornell and Warsaw set them back to 1-3 to open the year, but 3 straight wins for the Oaken Knights have set them back on track entering tonight's first round action. For Attica, they began the season with a win over Letchworth, and then some injury struggles began to get a little bit worse as a nice feed inside. Count the basket. Beautiful pass from Cole Harding to Ethan Harmon, who gets the finish, and he'll head to the line to look to make it a 3-point play. Attica's on the board with 6:19 remaining here in the opening quarter. So not sure what went on with the clock there at the end of it all, but 6:19 remaining here in the opening quarter as Harmon finishes inside. And he can't get the free throw to go, so it remains a 5-2 ball game. Leroy still out in front. But as I was saying about Attica, a win over Letchworth to open the season, 73-40, an impressive victory, but they were without Clayton Bizon, a force inside for this Attica team during that game as he was injured during the football season, a championship season for the Blue Devils football program. And one of the casualties that came with that championship run, as you see Holly Jr. knock down the jumper. Bizon suffered an injury that has left him out to start the basketball season, while Simon Lamparelli, a star soccer player here at Attica, suffered an injury to begin the basketball season. As you see Harding with a jumper from the elbow to make it a 7-4 ball game. Lamparelli suffered an injury early in the season, and now he is out. So 2 key players for Attica missing during this tournament. Lamparelli a guard, Bizon a forward, so key player at each level missing for the Blue Devils here. See the rebound, putback attempt for Leroy. Holly Jr. working hard in there, and he's eventually fouled, and he'll head to the line. Looked like also Gene Augusto, a sophomore forward for this Leroy team, doing good work on the offensive boards there. Holly gets the first free throw to go. Now an 8-4 ball game. Five-point lead for the Knights. Here comes Holly, taking it away, going the other way and throwing it down with force. Merritt Holly up top for the slam in transition. 7-point lead for Leroy on the emphatic dunk, contested at the rim for the Leroy forward. And that just goes to show you the raw athleticism for Holly. Not only does he have the size, he has the athleticism to go with it. And you won't see it a lot from him, but he can also knock down the jumper from the outside. So here's Leroy in good position early. I'll tell you more about Leroy other than Holly here shortly as the game progresses. It hasn't only been Holly that has made contributions for Leroy, obviously. A 4-3 start to the season, as you see the Leroy defense doing good work, and you also see Maverick McKenzie doing a nice job handling the ball at the point guard position. And of course, you saw Luce knock down the 3-ball from the corner. If he can get hot, that's also a big boost for this Leroy team. Holly from the elbow, turnaround jumper, knocks it down, and that will lead to Attica calling for timeout with 3:38 remaining in the opening quarter. It's a 13-4 ball game. Attica reeling in the early going. So here once more, we'll tell you about our sponsors here tonight, beginning with Casella Waste. Are you looking for residential pickup at your house, a dumpster or roll-off service for your place of business? Call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. Casella is your #1 provider for all your waste and recycling needs, and as always, putting your waste to work. Also, Genesee, your path. GCC offers 60-plus affordable academic programs and over 120 scholarships for you to begin your next journey. Apply for free at genesee.edu/apply or call 866-CALL-GCC today. Get to more of our sponsors at the next stoppage of play, but 3:38 remaining here in the opening quarter. Leroy in good position, ahead by 9. Merritt Holly doing plenty of the work for the Knights in the early going. Transition dunk, also a 3-pointer from Eric Luce contributing to the hot start for Leroy here. McKenzie off the dribble, jump stop, throws it away out of bounds, and possession returned to Attica.
Raising substitutions for Leroy, beginning number 1, Kenneth Kokinas, and 11, Trevor Shaw. For Attica, number 20, Nathan Thomas.
So here's Attica looking to fight its way back. Landon Thomas off the dribble, and a foul called against the Knights with 3:09 remaining in the opening quarter. Interesting note about Thomas, did not begin the season on the roster for Attica, but a late addition and a welcomed late addition to this Blue Devils roster, particularly with the injury to Lamparelli. He's done a nice job handling the ball in his short time on this team. A star football player was Thomas, and now looking to help the basketball program as you see an offensive foul committed by Thomas, an illegal screen. That's his first foul, and ball goes back to Leroy. Attica struggling to find its momentum here in the early going. Leroy's pressure defense has forced a few turnovers, and Attica just unable, like I said, to find that rhythm. travel committed by Holly with 2:39 remaining here in the first. Off the dribble and a travel called against George. So our team's trading travels here. And now the Knights will take back over, looking to add to their advantage. 2:27 remaining here in the first. It's a 9-point lead for Leroy. Merritt Holly Jr. It's a hot start here. 3-ball from Holly. Short. Rebound to McKenzie. Nice move to the rack. Can't get the finish. Gets his own rebound. Put back. No good. George able to corral the second rebound attempt for Attica. If you're Attica, you have to do a much better job on the offensive boards than you're doing here in the early going. George for 3. Excuse me, Harding for 3. My apologies. As Harding knocks it down. 13-7 ball game here. As Holly Jr. returns serve on the other end. Off the dribble, Jack Janes through contact, no good. Rebound goes to Leroy. Here come the Knights pushing the pace. And they'll reset. Off the dribble goes Leroy's Parker Dowell. Got it to Holly, but he was unable to finish at the rim. Sound defensive play made by Attica. Harding off the dribble. One-handed attempt at the finish, no good. Gets his own rebound. Now kicks it out to James.
Substitution.
52 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter. Subs coming on for Attica. Levi Pearl into the game now for the Blue Devils. Thought about it, did Andrew Pocock, but ends up getting it away out to Cal Kokitis. Kokitis hands it off to McKenzie, over to Holly. Off the dribble against Harding, kicks it out to Kokitis. Now in the hands of Pocock, back to McKenzie out top. 8 seconds on the shot clock. McKenzie from the block, unable to hit the rim, and Pearl collects the rebound. 20 seconds on the game clock. Attica will have to go quickly here. The shot clock is off. Holding for the last shot. Here's Thomas. Off the dribble, spinning down the lane. Lofts it up, and no good. All the way around the rim and out. And Leroy will send it in to the second quarter with an 8-point lead. So a good start for the Knights. Attica will look to find its footing here in the second quarter. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors. And of course, Notre Dame High School. When the Notre Dame High School administration asked its students why they love Notre Dame High School, the same word was repeated again and again, and that word was family. At NDHS, students develop authentic relationships with nurturing teachers, dedicated coaches, and administrators committed to the school's mission. At Notre Dame, students thrive in the physically and emotionally safe environment where they learn to take chances and push their academic abilities. Notre Dame High School invites you to discover the difference at their open house, February 2nd from 6 to 7:30, or call to schedule a visit today. Also, TF Brown's in Batavia. Whether you're looking for a great place for lunch or dinner, a place to relax and enjoy a beverage, or planning any type of party or get-together, TF Brown's is ready to meet your needs and budget. Also, R.A. Heights Company Incorporated, owned by Richard Wendt. R.A. Heights is a family business established in 1945 that specializes in residential and commercial roofing, metal roofing, gutter siding, windows, copperwork, and sheet metal fabrication. Also, Yassis Trucking. When you're in need of paving or excavation services in the Byron, Batavia area, there's only one company that goes above and beyond to fulfill all your excavation, septic, paving, and snow removal needs, and that's Yassis Trucking and Construction. Founded in 1988, Yassis offers valuable knowledge gained from over 33 years of experience in the industry. Yassis Trucking and Construction is insured and bonded and is proven to be a resource to architects, homeowners, and other customers throughout the area. Call Yassis today to see what they can do for you. 585-548-5014. Also, Main Street Insurance Agency. In business for 30 years, Main Street Insurance Agency has offices in Warsaw and Attica, and also an office in Bell, Florida. Call Main Street Insurance Agency for competitive quotes on auto, home, business, and life insurance. So here is Leroy beginning the second quarter with possession and an 8-point advantage. Crowd starting to file in here at Genesee Community College. It's sure to be a late arriving crowd for the later games, and sure to be a growing crowd as we go here, as 3:30 an early start time, particularly during the holiday season. Usually the games later in the night tend to fill up, and see quite the community involvement here in Genesee County, which is also always, fun to see here at the Batavia Lions Club tournament, the Pete Arras Memorial as it is. So here's Attica looking to slow things down. Get their first points of the second quarter. Has been a slow go, but Harding has done his best to keep his team in the game. Unable to there as he misses from about 15 feet. And now the Knights regain. Out of bounds, it will go back to Attica, and a sub coming on for Leroy. Checking back in is Eric Luce, while Pocock will take a break. So for Leroy, aside from Holly, it was a team really lacking in varsity experience entering the season. But they've since settled in nicely. They sit at 4-3 following a tough start. Holly has been an offensive force, as you see the jumper from the corner there from Attica's Jeff Eisensmith. Cut it to a 6-point deficit. But Holly Jr. averaging 24.5 points per game and over 10 rebounds per game for the Knights, while Eric Luce, Andrew Pocock, Gene Augusto, Connor Hedgeman have all come on as of late. And Maverick McKenzie, who is one of the few Knights with a bit of varsity experience, has done a nice job running the floor and had a 9-assist night recently against Albion. So he's done a nice job setting the table for Holly Jr. this season. You see McKenzie underneath, looking to inbound, and he lobs it over. Now it's into the hands of Holly at the top of the key. For Attica, I mentioned the injuries to Clayton Bizon and Simon Lamparelli, which have hurt them drastically, but as you see Augusto rise and fire and connect from about 10 feet, an 8-point lead once again for Leroy. But as I was saying about Attica, the injuries to Bizon and Lamparelli have hurt this team immensely. But you saw off the dribble there, Landon Thomas, his return has helped supplement those losses. Thomas did not begin the season on the roster, but he's since returned and provided a boost at the guard position and plenty of athleticism as well. I said before, Thomas, a fantastic football player, the leading rusher for the Attica football team that won its first sectional title in school history this fall. So Thomas, as he goes this year and gets back into game shape and back into basketball shape, is sure to provide a boost. And once they are able to get those two injured players back, it's certainly going to be a big boost for this Attica team as well. But Harding has been outstanding for Attica this year, averaging well over 20 points per game. Meanwhile, junior guard Jack Janes has also got it done offensively, averaging into the double digits throughout his first 6 games of the season. So it's been Harding and Janes leading the way with the losses of Bizon and Lamparelli, while it's been pretty much all Holly for Leroy. Third try for Holly here on this possession, and he's able to get it to go, and it's up to an 11-point lead for the Knights, their largest of the evening. Under the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter. Attica still looking to find its footing offensively and unable to do so there. Holly goes up top for the layup. And another timeout called by Attica as they look to stop the bleeding. They now trail it by 13 with 4:42 remaining in the first half. Once again, we'll scroll through our sponsors before we get to one that we forgot the first time around, and that is, of course, Empire Tractor. Empire Tractor, your local New Holland dealer, selling a full range of tractors and farm equipment. ET is also proud to sell Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers, which is the world's fastest mower, and they are now selling and servicing the Coyote line of tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Check out their website, empiretractor.com, or visit in person right in front of the Genesee County Fairgrounds. Once again, this is the Batavia Lions Club Pete Arras Memorial Boys Basketball Tournament here at Genesee Community College. 8 teams involved. All games broadcast live on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. My name is Alex Brasky, here to take you through tonight's action. On the Casella Way scoreboard, it's a 13-point lead for Leroy as Attica looking to regain its footing here in the first half. Coming out of the timeout, we'll see what Attica's able to do here. Harding from the elbow, no good, short, long rebound, goes to Luce. McKenzie off the dribble. Thought about getting it away to Holly. Instead, tried the jumper and off the mark. Here comes Attica moving quickly. Harding tried the nice pass inside to Wheeler, but it was tipped away out of bounds and now thrown out of bounds on the save, and it will stay with Attica. So midway through this second quarter, there's Attica looking to work its way back. Janes inside to Harding, looking for the cutter. Couldn't find one. Wheeler hands it off to Harding. Nice spin move through the lane. Can't get the finish as he was contacted near the rim. Pocock commits the foul. That will send Harding to the line for 2 shots. Harding knocks down the first. Harding 1 for 2 from the line. Augusto comes flying in for the rebound. Boy, does he show plenty of gusto on the boards. Raw athleticism and strength from the Knights sophomore, and he's come away with plenty of rebounds here tonight. He's also had a bucket, a jumper from the left side as well. Tough pass there from Augusto, chased down by Holly. Able to save it from going into the backcourt, but now a backcourt violation as he hopped over the line and grabbed the ball before establishing position in the front court. So 3:16 remaining here in the opening half. 12-point lead for Leroy. And Attica will take over possession. Harding probing for room, Janes for 3, no good. Kind of an awkward time to take a shot there. Not much spacing created by the Attica offense on that possession. Holly loses control. Harding in transition now from behind, being chased down. Parker Dowell, good hustle, knocked it away. I'm not sure what the call was, but it will stay with Attica here, I believe. I'm not sure what the call was. Looking down at the scoreboard at that moment. Janes up and good. Now down to a 10-point deficit for Attica. Inside for Augusto, and he gets the finish, back to a 12-point advantage. And a travel called, going back to Leroy here. It looked like we had a kickball on that play in the opposite corner that prompted the whistle and possession to remain with Attica. Looked like a kickball there. So now Leroy will take it. Approaching 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Loose, off the dribble, down the lane, floater, no good. Wheeler knocks it away. Now here comes Thomas sprinting into the open floor. Nice defense from Pocock to stop the ball, and it's tipped away by Kokidis and into the hands of Loose. So we have reached the 2-minute mark, and now under 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Bounce pass inside to Kokidis, goes up, a lot of contact, but no call. Harding on the rebound. Here comes Attica now. Harding, an awkward finish, but he gets it to go. Nice finish there from Harding, and a timeout called by Leroy with 1:26 remaining in the second quarter. And once again, we'll tell you about our sponsors, beginning with, of course, Casella Waste, your #1 service provider for all your waste and recycling needs. Casella will save your business time and money on trash and recycling services. Also, GCC, Genesee, your path. Apply today, genesee.edu/apply. Also, Notre Dame High School, the #1 secondary school in Genesee, Wyoming, and Orleans counties. Discover the difference today at NDHS Open House on February 2nd from 6 to 7:30. So out of the timeout, Leroy will have it with 1:26 remaining in the opening half. Here's McKenzie to bring it up for the Knights. Holly off the dribble, pulls up. No good. And an over-the-back call goes against Augusto. Maybe showed a little bit too much gusto there. Been a well-played game thus far. Not many fouls, 4 apiece for each team with 1 minute to go here in the second. Nice bounce pass from Harmon. Wheeler finishes, but no. Offensive foul as McKenzie sacrificed the body, and that will nullify the basket. But what a pass from Harmon to Wheeler. An unfortunate play there for the Blue Devils, but what an individual effort from McKenzie to force the turnover. McKenzie off the dribble now, into the lane, looked for Holly, unable to find him, off the rim and out. Holly gets position on the offensive boards and comes down with the rebound and the putback. Back to a 12-point lead for the Knights. Thomas doing his best to gain position on the much more well-sized Holly, but unable to do so on that last defensive possession for the Blue Devils. Janes inside, can't get it to go. Augusto on the rebound, and now the shot clock is off. Leroy will look to hold for the last shot, ahead by 12, inside 20 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Holly directing traffic, calling for the screen, 5 seconds to go. Spinning through defenders, gets it away to Augusto from 10 feet, no good, around the rim and out. Attica on the rebound, and we head to halftime with Leroy out in front by 12. We'd also like to thank TF Browns. Whether you're looking for a place to relax and enjoy a beverage or a nice dinner, TF Browns is ready to meet your needs and budget. Also, RA Heights Company Incorporated. And we'll be right back with more sponsors in the second half of action.
Good, Alex. Well, you got someone that can run this.
All right, we are back getting ready for second half action between Leroy and Attica. And before we get to action, we'd like to tell you about the remainder of our sponsors, Yasis Trucking, Construction, Excavating, and Paving. Any service you need in that regard, make sure you contact Yasis. Also, Main Street Insurance Agency, offices in Attica and Warsaw. And then Empire Tractor, we're here to help you grow. Once again, Alex Brasky with you at Genesee Community College. It's the Batavia Lions Club Pete Arras Memorial Boys Basketball Tournament. 8 teams involved, 2 brackets, a lot of fun first-round action coming up tonight, all available for you on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. Up next, Elba taking on Oakfield, Alabama. But first, we have to reach the conclusion of our first large school bracket matchup, as this is a rematch of last year's final, won by Leroy, and Leroy looking to make it back-to-back titles this year and well on their way to doing so with a nice start here against the Blue Devils. 12-point lead at the break for Leroy. Merritt Holly with a fantastic start to this game. Attica just has not been able to find consistent offense. If you're just joining us, Attica dealing with some injury struggles. Clayton Bizon, an important forward for this team, and Simon Lamparelli, a key guard for this team, both missing in action due to injury. And that has greatly decreased Attica's offensive firepower this season. Harding has done a nice job trying to keep pace for Attica, but there's certain games like today where he just hasn't had the shooting touch, and when Harding's off, it's tough for this Attica team to compete without 2 of its stars who are injured on the bench. Skip pass to Pocock, nice feed from Holly, and fouled on the 3-point attempt. Janes, a questionable foul committed there, as this will send Andrew Pocock to the line for 3 shots. Pocock makes the first 2. Look to make it 3 for 3. And he does. Odd free throw shooting for Pocock. "15-point lead for Leroy, its largest of the night. Harmon fires up the 3, no good. Flying in for the rebound is Harding, and the putback. Phenomenal effort from Harding. Attica responds. Attica trying to increase the pressure on defense, and it works there, but a foul called. No, excuse me, no foul called. I believe we just had out of bounds called against Attica, so we'll stay with Leroy here. Bounce pass to Holly at the high post, to the rim, but he's fouled by Harding. And that will send Holly to the line for 2.
Fouls on 4, Cole Harding, his first. Second team foul on Attica. 2 shots for Merritt Holly. Substitution for Attica, the game number 3, Jeff Eisenman.
So Holly connects on a couple of free throws to improve upon his impressive night. 6.5 minutes to go here in the third. It's back to a 15-point lead for Leroy. Jumper from Meyer, no good. Rebound to Harmon, and now Meyer gets it to go. Ethan Meyer, his first bucket of the night. Down to a 13-point lead, and Attica keeps the pressure on defensively. Inside, Holly, an awkward finish. Tough finish through the contact. Back to a 15-point advantage. Leroy takes it away. Here they come on offense once again. Pocock in the lane, no good. Augusto on the rebound, put back, good. That one taken away by Holly in transition down the lane, but he loses it out of bounds. Unforced, it rolls across the baseline, and that will provide Attica with possession as subs come on. Harding unable to connect there. Here comes Leroy going the other way with it. Dowell hands it off to Holly. Skips it over to Luce for three, no good. Janes collects the rebound. Harding inside, nice feed. And Thomas with a nice pass to find the cutting Harding for two. Attica takes it away. Wheeler with the fine defensive play. But that one is tipped away and back into the hands of the Knights. It's Thomas picking up McKenzie at midcourt. Harassing defense provided by the Attica guard. Dowell guarded closely by Eisensmith, stops, pops from the top of the key, well off the mark, but he's able to collect his own rebound. And it looks like we'll have a reset of the shot clock as that missed the rim. So 9 seconds on the shot clock, 3:27 on the game clock here in the third quarter. Holly, turnaround, hook shot, no good, all the way around the rim and out. Rebound goes to Harding. Eisensmith, nice move off the dribble. Met by Luce on the block. Can't get the finish. Rebound goes to Augusto. Nice help side defense from Luce there to stop Eisensmith from driving all the way to the rim. Holly at the top of the key. Screen set by Augusto. No good on the jumper. Holly has not had the range here tonight. Attica is giving him plenty of room on the perimeter, simply allowing him to shoot. But he has not been able to connect on those perimeter jumpers. A feeble attempt there from Eisensmith as it seemed to slip out of his hands on that pass. Didn't get all the mustard he wanted on it. Goes out of bounds, tipped by the Knights, so fortunately for Attica, it will stay with the Blue Devils here. 2:39 remaining in the third. 15-point lead for Leroy. Now or never for Attica. Harding unable to get the finish, but he'll head to the line for two.
Second team foul on the Knights. 2 shots for Cole Harding.
And 1 for 2 for Harding as he trims it to a 14-point deficit. Sorry, a little too quick on the camera there. Leroy able to clear the press, but they throw it away. Thomas loses his footing, and it allows Leroy to regain possession. 3-ball from Dowell, no good. Rebound goes to Wheeler. Holly, jump stop, looked like it could have been a travel, no call. Nice move from Merritt Holly to increase Leroy's lead to 16. Harding again from the perimeter. Trims it to a 13-point advantage. 1:43 remaining in the third quarter. And a timeout called by Attica as they look to build off the momentum created by the deep jumper. So once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, beginning with Casella Waste. Casella, your #1 service provider for all your waste and recycling needs. Also, Genesee Community College. GCC offers 60-plus affordable academic programs and over 120 scholarships for you to begin your next journey. Also, Notre Dame High School invites you to discover the difference at their open house February 2nd from 6 to 7:30 p.m. or call to schedule a visit. Also, TF Brown's, 214 East Main Street in Batavia, right off Liberty Street. Enjoy a nice relaxing beverage, a wonderful meal at a budget you can afford. Also, RA Heights Company Incorporated, owned and operated by Richard Wendt. It's a family business established in 1945 that specializes in residential and commercial roofing, metal roofing, siding, gutters, windows, copperwork, and much, much more. Dowell for 3. Parker Dowell knocks it down. It's up to a 16-point lead for Leroy. And we'll reset the clock here to 1:15 and start it, as there is 1:15 remaining in this third quarter, as the save from Eisensmith goes into the hands of Leroy. Now here come the Knights. Dowell looking for room. Screen set by Holly, but couldn't find any. Pocock traveled. Subs coming on for Leroy. We have Connor Hedgeman and Braden Allen on for Attica. Janes off the dribble into the lane, feeds it to Harding along the baseline. A lot of contact. A block is called. Hedgeman tried to take the charge, but was unable to do so. Harding gets it into Janes, back into Harding. Nice give and go to Janes at the rim, but it's rejected by Augusto. Hustling after it is Meyer to keep it in bounds, but Hegman able to collect it for the Knights. 25 seconds remaining here in the third. Actually, we'll start it at 15. Leroy looking for the last shot here. Kenzie over to Pocock. 6 seconds remaining. Hegman in the corner. Jump stop. Pops. No good. Rebound to Attica. And that will do it for the third quarter of play. We head to the fourth. Leroy in firm control, holding a 16-point lead over the Blue Devils. We'd also like to thank Yasis Construction, Excavating, and Paving. When you're in need of paving or excavation services in the Byron, Batavia area, there's only one company that goes above and beyond to fulfill all your excavation, septic, paving, and snow removal needs, and that's Yasis Trucking and Construction. Also, Main Street Insurance Agency, in business for 30 years. Main Street Insurance Agency has offices in Attica and Warsaw and another location in Bell, Florida. Call Main Street Insurance Agency for competitive quotes on auto, home, business, and life insurance. Also, Empire Tractor, your local New Holland dealer. Also selling Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers. Check out their website, empiretractor.com. This is the first round of the Pete Arras Memorial Boys Basketball Tournament. Alex Brasky with you on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. Got 3 more games coming up here tonight. Elba and Oakfield, Alabama facing off, followed by Notre Dame and Medina, and then of course Batavia and Roy Hart. Eight minutes to go in this game. Leroy looking to salt this one away. We are underway in the 4th. Leroy starts with possession. Dowell with it at the top of the key. Gusto working for room inside, but Braden Allen doing a nice job defensively for the Blue Devils. Pocock tried to get it away to McKenzie, tipped away by Meyer, but it will stay with the Knights here. One second on the shot clock. That forced Hedgeman to fire it up, but Dowell able to collect the offensive rebound to give the Knights an extra possession here. That one thrown away. Pocock able to collect it. Nice move from McKenzie and a better bounce pass to Augusto for the finish and the foul. To an 18-point lead, Leroy's largest of the evening. 7:04 remaining in the 4th. Augusto to the line to try to make it a 3-point play. Unable to finish the 3-point play, and that one rebounded by Janes, but Attica turns it over on the other end as Harding lost control. And that's a travel called against Pocock. Pulled the pivot foot. Here comes Holly back in for the Knights. 6:46 remaining in this ballgame. 18-point lead for Leroy. Meyer tried to lob it into Allen, but it's tipped away by Augusto. Kenzie off the dribble into the corner for Hegman. Holly off the dribble, kicks it out to Dowell for 3, no good, missed the mark. Augusto on the rebound, and a timeout called by Leroy with 6:13 remaining. Once again, we'll thank our sponsors, Casella Waste, Genesee Community College, Notre Dame High School, TF Browns in Batavia, RA Heights Company Incorporated, Yasis Trucking and Construction, Excavating and Paving, Main Street Insurance Agency, and Empire Tractor. Stay with us following a short break in between this game and our next matchup between Elba and Oakfield, Alabama.
Johnson is a proud sponsor of the 41st Annual Batavia Lions Club Pete Arras Memorial Basketball Tournament.
Here we go, out of the timeout. Leroy will have it. 6:13 remaining. Kenzie bounces it over to Holly. Deep jumper, no good. Tipped out of bounds by Augusto, and it will go to Attica. Levi Pearl back into the game for the Blue Devils. Into the corner for Harding. 3. No good. Augusto on the rebound. Dowell off the dribble. Holly traveled. Five and a half minutes to play. 18-point lead for the Knights. Harding at the free throw line. Kicks it out to Meyer. Looked like he traveled. No call. Nice pass inside to Meyer from Harding, but he couldn't get it to go. Ball bounces around into the hands of Dowell, and he feeds it over to McKenzie. He now initiates the transition for the Knights. Hand off to Dowell, hand off to Holly. Into the corner for Holly, skipped over to Dowell. Rejected by Janes in the corner as Luce tried to go up with the 3. Attica quickly goes the other way, 4:40 to go. Inside to Pearl. Time running out on the Blue Devils, but continue to look to work their way back as they cut their deficit to 16 now. Inside to Augusto, wide open. And he gets the finish. Nice pass from Thomas. Harding at the rim. So a good sequence of offense here in the last couple of minutes. Haven't seen many positive sequences here tonight, but that certainly was a nice series of plays there from both sides. Holly inside. Pearl tried to take the charge to no avail. Gusto, no good. Put back. Boy, oh boy, has Augusto been impressive on the offensive boards. His strength, athleticism, physicality, and sheer will have given the Blue Devils fits underneath. Foul goes against McKenzie, and subs will come on for both sides. For the first time tonight, we'll see Aiden Schoonover and Jordan Anderson for Attica. As the lob-in goes to Meyer, now inside to Pearl. Up top, tried the one-handed finish, couldn't get it to go. Eisensmith on the putback, and it's good. Holly to the rim. Holly certainly has to be nearing his average here of 24.5 points per game. It's been a phenomenal evening for Merritt Holly Jr. As Eisensmith was off the mark there, and Leroy will regain it under 3 minutes to go. Leroy looking to work the time off the clock. They'll have to go now with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Kokitis inside, a lot of contact, and he's fouled. They'll head to the line for 2 shots. So at the end of the shot clock, Leroy bailed out by a foul committed by the Blue Devils. And Kokitis now at the line. Kokitis no good on the first attempt, and Now the first time substitution for Attica, Curtis Daniel into the game, and Meyer will check out. Kokitas no good on the second attempt, 0 for 2 from the line. Pocock on the rebound, and a timeout called by Leroy with 2:14 remaining. 18-point lead for the Knights. Once again, stay tuned. So we'll have another game coming up shortly after this one. Oakfield taking on rival Elba, two schools that combine in several sports. So it's certainly going to be a fun atmosphere inside this gym over the next couple of hours, and may see some chippiness on the floor as well, as when friends get together, you know how things can go, especially in a competitive atmosphere. Oakfield Alabama Elba football won the Section 5 Class D football championship this year. Plenty of players from that team will line each team's roster. You may see some coaches from the OAE football team on each bench as well. 2:14 left in the fourth. McKenzie set to inbound for Leroy, which leads it by 18, and that's a 5-second call. Nice defense created by Attica there. Quick count there by the official, but no, timeout, excuse me. He raised his hand in the air and signaled 5, but it appears as if that was just a signal the timeout. So a timeout called by Leroy as they were unable to get the ball in. So 2:14 remaining still. So Oakfield, Alabama comes into this season as two-time defending sectional champions. They've gotten off to a fantastic start to the season. Kyle Porter has led the way for OA, averaging over 18 points per game, but Braden Smith, Noah Courier, and Aiden Warner have done a nice job chipping in for the Hornets as well. So those will be some of the names you hear in our next matchup. While Elba, during a bit of a rebuilding season, they do have some talent at the top of the roster, but very inexperienced is this year's Elba's team. Connor Scott, Jake Walzak, and Angelo Penna are the experienced players for the Lancers, while plenty of fresh faces fill out the roster. Scott has done a nice job offensively for Elba this year, their leading scorer, while Penna is a force inside both offensively and defensively. Scott, a guard for the Lancers. Head coach Chachi Zambito helped lead Elba to a sectional championship a few years ago, so his Lancers hoping to recreate that championship mentality in the years to come, but certainly going through some growing pains at the start of this year, but we'll see if they can upset the rival Hornets in just a few moments here at Genesee Community College. So McKenzie tried the jumper from the wing, no good. Rebound goes to Attica. We're now under a minute to play in this opening round matchup between the Knights and the Blue Devils. The Knights lead it by 18 and are poised to appear in their second consecutive Batavia Lions Club Pete Arras Memorial Tournament Large School Division title game. Leroy won last year's title game over Attica and looking to make it 2 in a row this year. Knights will roll this one in, not sure why, with 50 seconds remaining. As now Leroy will just wind the clock down. 25 seconds on the shot clock, 38 on the game clock. So about 13 seconds separating game and shot clock. And now Leroy will have to fire up one last shot with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Pocock from the wing takes it to the rim. No good. And Attica collects the rebound. Final 10 seconds of this ball game. Leroy's going to take home the win, an 18-point margin as it stands. And a foul is called against Leroy with 0.4 seconds remaining. That will send Attica's Curtis Daniel to the line for 2 shots. First one from Daniel, no good. And no good on the second. So that will do it here from GCC. Leroy with an 18-point win over Attica. So Leroy advances to Thursday night's large school bracket title game. And they will take on the winner of Batavia versus Roy Hart coming up later tonight. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Casella Waste, also Genesee Community College, Notre Dame High School, TF Browns, RA Heights Company Incorporated, Yasis Trucking, Construction, Excavating, and Paving, Main Street Insurance Agency, and Empire Tractor. Check back in just a few moments on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network, hosted by YouTube, for a fresh link for Elba versus Oakfield, Alabama. Alex Brasky for the Batavia Daily News. I'll be right back.